Liver and gallbladder flush and my experiences. Welcome to Be Fab, Be You Made Simple, your daily dose of inspiration designed to help you reinvent yourself by optimizing your body and mind. I am Maria Horstman, a health editor and coach, a fitness trainer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, founder of BeFabBeYou.com. Our episodes are short and will bring you valuable content and practical nuggets for optimal health and fitness that you can implement ASAP. Let's get you to feel fabulous every day. Are you ready? Check out the show notes to 1, schedule a free call with me to discuss a plan to take your health to the next level. 2, submit a question to be featured in our Ask Me Anything episodes on Sundays. Connect with me on social media and much more. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, share with your friends and leave it a rating. Liver and gallbladder flush and my experiences. Welcome back, my Be Fab and Be You Made Simple podcast family. I'm pumped to be here and share awesomeness with you as always. Thank you very much for sharing your precious time with me. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and I would love to hear from you as well. Let me know how you're enjoying the show. So let's get down to the business of health, shall we? So I've been talking about delivering today's episode since the beginning of this mini-series on the liver and gallbladder. Today is the day. We'll wrap up over here in style by talking about cleansing and flushing your liver and gallbladder. Oh Lord, what the heck is that? I know what you're thinking about it. And if you're thinking about changing the channel, please don't. Give yourself an opportunity to learn something today different that is going to challenge your mindset. I invite you to hang with me here. Do not judge. Just listen with curiosity. Can you do that? I hope so. In previous episodes of this mini-series, I discussed functions of the liver and the gallbladder, sources of toxicity, which you might want to go back to that episode, ways to prevent gallbladder removal, things that you can do to give your liver a break, including a 4-minute cleanse that I offer for free for you, get you started. And I also talked about functional blood chemistry analysis and the 2 liver markers that you don't want to miss. You want to make sure that your doctor running or you order this through a lab and get your labs analyzed and interpreted from a functional perspective. And of course, I'm here to help you with that. And the information that comes out of this is amazing. Something that you're going to see, finally, I know what's going on with me. So just reach out to BeFabBeYou.com and schedule a complimentary session, and we'll talk about how I can assist you. So in today's episode, I will share a few key reasons someone may want to do a liver flush and various considerations and steps to cleanse the body in preparation for the flush and what's involved, the night of the flush, the steps. And lastly, I will share highlights of the 3 flushes that I've completed in 9 months. All amazing stuff, folks. And if you're thinking I'll be offering a liver flush program today here, the answer is no. Although I did 2 out of the 3 on my own, I did my first under Isabel's wings. Isabel and I met in either 2015 or 16. Definitely not before 2015, because in 2015 is when I enrolled into the Institute of Nutritional Endocrinology, and I started my training. And so either we met that year or the day after in one of the events, and so on. So she received the same type of training. She leads a comprehensive, step-by-step, 2-week protocol with manuals, presentations, support calls, recipes, you name it. I mean, she does a phenomenal job. And that is to assure that you're nurturing while you're cleansing. Okay. So the process that I'm about to share here, although it's very summarized, it's based on Isabel's protocol and program, which I'm glad to share more information about it. Just reach out to me, and Isabel would love to have you in her next cleanse. Okay, so let's get started. Why cleansing and flushing your liver gallbladder? So this thought of flushing an organ may sound weird and even scary for you. It doesn't have to be like that, or you don't have to feel like that when you are in a safe environment, when a process and protocol is done properly and supervised. And the whole thing about fear is when we feel unsafe. So let's look for the safety zone. And then we can proceed. In reality, what we're really talking about is helping the body to improve and or restore its abilities to detoxify. Our bodies are bombarded with increased level of toxicity. And toxicities that 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago didn't exist to the levels that we have today. So we have to rethink about this and think that the body can do it all. It does an amazing job. Our cells are made to stay, in homeostasis. But when we're bombarded constantly, something is going to start falling apart and start falling apart quicker. So what do I mean with detoxification? Basically, let me walk you through a little, summary of the 3 phases of detoxification. Although there are other organs involved in detoxification, the liver is a very important one, and the one organ that you want to give some love and keep it healthy. And that's what this whole mini series has been all about. So these phases that I'm talking about here is involved mostly in the liver process. So the phase 1 is where the body uses enzymes and nutrients, not junk, to remove toxins in drugs, food additives, hormones, you name it, right? And even the internal processes and toxicity that the body generates with free radicals and so on. So this phase 1 is about neutralizing a toxin so it can turn into water soluble, so it can eventually be what? Secreted. So phase 2, well, actually, before the phase 2, let me just say that if we're really congested, this transformation might not be happening well, and that can really prevent the body from going to the phase 2 of detoxification. That can be a problem. So this phase 2 is where the toxins get turned into water soluble. Now, hear me out here. The amino acids play a key role there. Amino acids, right? They are coming from the proteins. So if your body is not digesting proteins well, or digesting foods, period, that's going to be a conversion problem into these amino acids. So anyway, these amino acids in phase 2, they attach to the toxin to further neutralize and then get them out of the body. That's how it happens, okay? So phase 3 is where the toxins are eliminated out of the digestive tract via the bile and via the kidneys in the urine, okay? So obviously we have other ways to detoxify. Just think about the skin. And one of the things that I love to do is I went actually last night. I spent quite a bit of time in a sauna. We detoxify in the sauna, detoxify, through the skin when we exercise, sweat, and all that kind of stuff. So here are some clues that the body is holding extra toxicity. And that's how I want you to think about here is something, is this cleansing and flushing something that I want to consider? Well, the liver and the gallbladder are important organs, and and if they're clogged, they will speak up. Yes, the body sends a signal. So here are some of the signs of literally dysfunction: headaches, fatigue, lethargy, rash, itching, irregular heartbeat, stomach pain, depression, poor memory, cold sores, cold sores, I'm sorry, even sores in the throat, constipation, obviously, dizziness. If you get, irregular heartbeats, and reaction to medications, you're kind of sensitive to perfume and chemicals like I am too. So these are signs. Is that the only problem? Is that the only source of problem? No, but these are things that could be there. After a while, if we don't address this imbalance, if we have like a unhealthy lifestyle, it becomes literally a chaos in the body. And we're going to see, as you continue to learn more about your health and wellness, that as the body is interrelated, the things, the organs and the functions are all interrelated. We will notice that, okay, this headache might be coming from something else as well. So anyway, I just want you to think about this, okay, because it's important. So how does the cleanse and the flush works? So if you have been following a standard American diet, which is a SAD, S-A-D diet, you're so aligned with the name, the acronym. If you're doing that for the most part, like I used to do, many years ago, you want to start making some food swaps 3 to 4 weeks before you start this flush week, okay? Either you track your foods or you make a list of foods that you eat the most. And then you start swapping. And I like actually to start with the thought of adding foods, before even swapping. So it's easier to add than kind of ditch stuff, right? But you want to do that before, way ahead. Now, if you have already a fairly healthy lifestyle, you might be able to skip that and go straight to the week of the flush. But anyway, so here are some examples for you that you want to increase the intake. Garlic, onions, and these are all foods that help detoxifying the body. So garlic, onions, lemon, cruciferous vegetables, and these are Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, broccolis, onions, apples, beets, and have loads of leafy green vegetables too. Go ahead and add some berries too, because they boost the antioxidants for the liver too. So go at it, baby. Go at it. You got to do this. So start look at this list to track your foods and start saying, okay, I'm going to swap this for that. And now, don't be surprised if soon after you start getting rid of these highly toxic foods that you've been having for maybe years, including the beverages, by the way, you experience some fatigue, some headache, and some nasty side effects. Hang in there. Give your body a few days to adjust. It's just like that, the sense of peace when, once the storm is over, right? So you got to go through the storm and then you feel that peace. So the same thing here, okay? The body is going through some chemical adjustments here to get rid of this toxicity and readjusting. So hang in there. So the week prior to the flush, it's a time for you to start really reducing the consumption of dairy, sugars, especially added sugars, including artificial sugars, maple syrup, cane sugar, all that kind of stuff. Alcohol, caffeine, definitely start ditching the processed, foods, including sauces, seasonings. It's going to be very important for you to lower or even ditch entirely that week, animal protein, and they're heavy in the system. And, refined grains, whole grains, bread, pasta, all that kind of stuff. You want to start eliminating the foods that add toxicity and inflammation to the body. Okay. So if you're thinking that, you eat, if you're thinking about, oh my God, what I'm going to eat. Well, there's loads of yummy foods to eat. Focus on what you can eat instead of what you are eliminating. Take charge of your brain. This is really a psychological process as well.
And you can do this. Look at, if I can do it, you can do it. If all my clients can do it, you can do it too. I mean, it's just a matter of wanting to do it badly. So load that body of yours up with example of foods that I just mentioned. And also look at the fermented foods like sauerkraut, natto or natto, some people pronounce that way, miso, coming from organic, fruits, especially on the low glycemic value and load like berries, green apples, lemons, and things like that. Yes, in that week of the flush, or the week even prior, focus on the healthy fats. You don't want any of the vegetable oils and things like that. Healthy fats could be in coconuts, avocados, nuts, seeds, right? They're all very welcome, okay? These are foods that the body will process well. And as far as protein, don't worry about it. There's plenty of protein and, the leafy greens and all that kind of stuff. And obviously you can do a protein powder, especially if you're exercising and all that. Focus on a plant-based protein powder and things like that, okay? Also try it out bone broth. It could be chicken or beef bone broth. And these are good stuff to get your body in a good state. So now let's talk about the cleanse in the flush week. So now that you've done a great job preparing yourself for the week, because now we're talking about the previous week, you're kind of adjusting, ditching stuff, adding awesome things, right? So now this is the week of the flush. So let me share some important aspects of this week, because actually you want to break this down into two parts. One is day 1 through 5 and day 6 to 7. The night of the flush is day 6 or the night 6. Okay, that's the night of the flush. So days 1 through 5 of the week, you follow a specific protocol of foods and supplementation. Obviously, all this no junk that I just mentioned. And you'll be in a vegan diet, okay? And you will have kind of let go of the sources of toxins and inflammation that we just talked. You will not be consuming over here this dairies or eliminating to the max over here. Yeah, not at all in this week. No dairies, sugars, caffeine, alcohol, animal protein, GMO foods, vegetable oils, refined grains, and definitely no fried and processed foods, of course. So the supplements during this week that you're going to be taking, I'm not going to get into the details over here, but they're going to help you to break down the foods, example of enzymes, right? And you get your bowels to move 3 times a day. You want to get ready here. And you also be doing some drops of a couple of products called supplementations as well, but in drops that will stimulate your cells to take on water to prevent dehydration. It's very important to stay hydrated. You're going to be drinking a lot of water during this week, okay? I'm just saying, you're going to be in the bathroom more often, and it's a process, okay? And hang in there, you can do this. And you also be taking some trace minerals, okay? Because of all the discharge, you got to put these minerals back. And these are super important things for detoxification. Now, also from days 1 through 6, at least until 1 p.m. of day 6, you'll be drinking a stone softener that combines malic acid and apple juice. And you're going to be drinking 36 ounces of that a day, with the juice and water mix and this malic acid, little powder that you put in the water. And on day 5 of the morning, on day 5 or the morning of day 6, actually, you want to do colon hydrotherapy, or referred also by colonics. And that will help you remove as much toxins from your body as possible in preparation for that flush. You want to have, a good process here. So releasing the toxicity as much as possible, getting rid of the stuff is going to make you feel better, okay? Better results. And if you don't have access to colon hydrotherapy, center by you, you will be doing extra enemas from home. Yes, water enema and coffee enema. The coffee enema is going to be, regardless, you're going to be doing an enema from home anyway. So let's talk more specifically about day 6 and 7. You will need a few additional products for day 6. You're going to need castor oil, a castor oil pack, pure Epsom salt, an enema kit, 100% pure coffee for the enema coffee that you're going to be doing on day 7. And you will be drinking a combination of olive oil and fresh grapefruit juice. I know sounds nasty, but actually tastes pretty good. On day 7, you will need to replenish electrolytes. And the best here is to get, coconut water from a fresh coconut, or even, if you don't want to do that, you can do an unsweetened coconut water that doesn't have any junk in it. So these are a couple of things that you're going to need for day 6 and 7. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule for day 6 here. This is, first of all, a day that you don't want to have much schedule. And you want to leave the exercise for another day. Yeah, going for a walk, that's fine. But no heavy exercise in there. You need to start nourishing your body and keeping your kidneys kind of warm as well. So if you're in a cold environment, you want to stay, very warm. So you'll be drinking that day 100% juice. And I recommend not the juice from the streets, the orange juice and all that. You want to have access to some, high quality juicing. And also, you can do also clear vegetable broth only too. So either a juice that is high quality, not processed juice, or clear vegetable broth. And I've done both, and they're great. I prefer the juice, actually. There is a company here in Atlanta that I buy the juices, and they're super high quality and they taste awesome. So you start a fast at 1 p.m. of day 6. So you're going to be drinking your juice, a broth, the stone softener, and all the supplements by 1 o'clock. You shut it down, everything else after 1. So at 6 o'clock p.m. and you will, that's 6 p.m. of day 6. And at 8 p.m. of day 6, you'll be drinking this mixture of water and Epsom salt. And that will be 6 ounces. You will have already prepared 24 ounces of this nasty tasting beverage in advance. So you have 4 sets of 6 ounces each. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is nasty. You probably want to use glass straw so you have little access to your mouth of this thing. I just juggle it down, honestly. I just go for it. But you can do that as well. You can use a straw and a glass straw. So you're going to do that at 6 and 8 p.m., okay? So you're going to be drinking 6 ounces each time. And you just juggle it down and you shake it off and move on. At 9 p.m., depending on your bowel movement status, whether you had a colonics you might be doing a water enema. So if you had not done a colonics the day before, the day off, you'll be doing an enema. And if you haven't had, bowel movements, you definitely want to do an enema. So at 9:45 p.m., you want to kind of prepare the castor oil pack. So there's a whole little process how to do that, and you will learn in the instructions with whoever you do it. Or I can share information more on that. So you prepare that. At 10 p.m., you will drink a mix of 3/4 of a cup of freshly squeezed grapefruit that you've done it, with a 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. It sounds nasty, but to be honest, actually is not. I was very surprised. You mix that thing very well and you chuckle it down. It tastes actually good, but I drink it still with a glass straw, so it doesn't have all these things going into my mouth. So it keeps it keeps it straight down. You got to do what you got to do, So as soon as you drink that mix, you will place the castor oil pack on the abdomen at the level of the liver. And I wrap the whole pack in saran wrap. And I wrap that all around my body, actually. You can keep that saran wrap or that castor oil on you tight, not moving for 2 hours, or you slip with it like I do. I don't want to bother getting up and removing that. It doesn't bother me at all. Again, I keep things straightforward and simple, and things don't bother me. And so you want to lay down immediately after you put that castor oil pack on you. And you want to be quiet, not move much, and fall asleep, okay? On day 7, now you slept through the night, hopefully. On day 7 at 6 a.m., you want to set the alarm for 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. You drink the other 6 ounces of the Epsom salt mix. So again, 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And all this, this timing things is related to the circadian rhythm. It's time about detoxification of the body, the liver, and how it all works. So there is some science behind this, how the body operates to optimize this process. And that's why I want to stay sharp on the timing over here of these things. So in total, by 8 a.m., of day 7, you have drunk, 24 ounces of this mix. So after that, you will do a water enema and a coffee enema. And in this coffee enema, you want to hold, for 15 minutes, that thing on you. And, if it's your first enema, like it was for me when I did my first liver cleanse, there is a learning process here, and I'll share more about that too. So immediately after this coffee enema that you do, you want to replace your electrolytes because, you now for the last, several hours, you've been going to the bathroom quite a bit. You've done these enemas. You need to replace the electrolytes. So that's where you're going to drink your coconut water here. Or any other mix that is a healthy one that you made for electrolytes, okay? And by the way, if you are opposed to enemas or colon hydrotherapy, forget about doing a flush. This is not for you. This is not safe to do it without doing enemas, especially. Like I said, you can do this process, a liver flush, without a colon hydrotherapist or a colonics, but you cannot do it without enema. It's just, you got to remove the toxicity. You cannot just go at it like that. I don't recommend it. Any practitioner in a sane mind wouldn't recommend it either. So for the rest of your day 7, you'll be very gentle with your body as far as, beverages and foods. You're going to reverse here. You're going to go from juicing to to liquids and eventually chew some stuff in the end of the day, maybe some salad or something. But personally, I don't chew anything until normally day 9 or 10. I stay liquid. I'm very gentle, and I respect my body in that way. It's your choice, on what to do, but I keep it liquids and blended foods for a couple more days after that. And you definitely don't want to put any junk, no alcohol, no inflammatory foods. Don't do that. Please, please, please respect your body. On day 9, you want to do another colonics if you have the colonics available by you. And let me tell you, you will feel amazing. Amazing after that colonics. You feel flushed. And let me tell you this too. On the last 2 liver flushes I've done, and the day 9 of the colonics that I did, the last 10 to 15 minutes, there was nothing, no poop, nothing coming out.
I felt like $1,000,000, and I felt like for once I was not full of shit, pardon my language, but literally that's what it was. I mean, you might see the therapist massaging you here and there, and nothing is coming out for 10, 15 minutes. Hey, hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's a beautiful thing. You feel like $1,000,000. By the end of the cleanse, like I said, you feel amazing, energized, healthy. I mean, this is stuff that you want to feel for the rest of your life. And this is a process you want to continue to do it. That's the way it is. And I know it sounds a lot here. It's a process for sure. And, to be honest, I didn't follow this process step by step. My eyes crossed. I don't know what the heck happened. And I missed a few things in the first one. And I'll talk more about it in a second. But, this is the reason that you don't want to have this done on your own. And you want to be doing this with somebody who understands, like a program with somebody that's going to guide you, that is going to give you step-by-step directions. You want to feel safe, you want to feel well, and you want to feel the great results, and so like I said, you will receive detailed instructions, from a practitioner, and all the things you got to do. So don't worry about it. What you got to worry about, not worry, but you got to be is committed to your health and wellness and follow the instructions. That's it. This is the reason, like I said, I recommend you do with an expert like my colleague Isabel, and at least for the first time. And that's what I did. Okay. And here's another thing. If you are leading a healthy lifestyle and you are in a healthy vegan diet, not full of junk, okay, and gluten and all that, and no sugar and all that stuff, and you take enzymes and you have normal bowel movements at least once or twice a day, you go to the bathroom, you may skip the preparations of day 1 to 5, okay? You might continue the supplements. You might do the supplements, that's for sure, 1 day to 5. But, I would still not skip the pre-flush colonics if you have that access. And because it's really made a huge difference for me. Because the first time I didn't do it, but I'll share more about it. So these are kind of things that I want you to be aware. Some people I know, my mentor, she leads a very healthy lifestyle. She doesn't have to do any of the day 1 to 5, whatever. She goes straight to the flush day 6 and 7, which will be shorter for you. But it's important to get your body ready if you're not there yet, right? In this lifestyle and choices and these behaviors and habits that we're talking about here. So before I share some key highlights of my experiences, let me just say that this type of cleanses and flushes here, they are meant to be repeated. This is not something that you're going to do once and, let me check it out. Don't waste your time doing that. Don't do that to your body, okay? Most people do these flushes to release stones, right? Gallstones, that's what I meant with that. And you may not release the stones, the first time or the second. To be honest, I don't remember seeing any of them. But again, that was not my major goal doing this cleanses. And if I did, they could be small that I didn't see mixed in the poop. Yes, I was looking for them, but I couldn't see it. It's not like I was going and dipping my water in there and is that a stone or not? I know. You didn't need that visual, did you? But once you start with these flushes, you want to keep doing them, ideally twice a year. So, put that in your schedule and do them, and that's, that's what I've done. I've done 3 of them in 9 months. So my experiences, let me share that. First of all, let me tell you that I might be unique, or maybe you're right there with me. I'm very curious about my body. I love to be my own guinea pig and stuff. And I am a great observer of how my body reacts. And that's not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. This has been a journey that has been fascinating to me
of the health and wellness is, I was a very detailed person in the finances of a company, right? When I was in corporate, and I'm so detailed and curious about my body now, and so I'm curious about how bodies of other people, my clients, will react too, and I want to inspire them to be that curious, because the body is an amazing machine. So my goal with this is starting this flush is that I had meant to start way back. Okay. But finally I did it last year in 2020. It was to clean up literally. I've been sensitive to this for years. And I know that through blood markers, I'm sensitive in the liver and gallbladder. And it's not like I'm a heavy drinker, but I know my lifestyle wasn't the greatest for 37 years of my life, right? A lot of sugar, a lot of toxins, a lot of things. And, when I eat a lot of fats, I would see quite a bit of my poop floating. That's a sign that you're not digesting your fats. Also, the color of the poop, they have to say the clay color. There's all signs, And for many years, I had a lot of gastrointestinal issues, hemorrhoids, constipation, all this, stomach. I had eating disorder. So, look, I've done enough damage, and maybe you have done too, and it's never too late. So, this is why I wanted to do it. I wanted to explore my body and give my body this opportunity to see what happens. So in the end of September 2020, that's when I did my first one. And I went through a couple of challenges. And I was not able to schedule a pre-flush colonics, and that had an impact. And the only reason I can tell that had an impact is because the two flushes I did later, I did with pre and post colonics, and I could tell the difference. Plus, the funniest thing happened, which was not so funny, but was, but it ended up really causing me issues during that flush. Was it was my first time doing enema, which I had meant to do it way before, but I like colonics and I have it available close to me. So I normally do colonics. I've been doing colonics for 10, 15 years, 15 years. And so I cut the corners doing this enema. And I skipped a step that was extremely important that I don't want you to miss, okay? I didn't take the temperature of the water because, yes, there is a specific temperature. I actually thought that was going to be fine, and it wasn't. It was not extremely, but it was very hot, way above the temperature recommended, which is between 91 and 101 Fahrenheit. I'm sorry. And I literally burned my behind. Look, I wish I had a camera. Okay. I wish I had known that this thing was going to happen, because I would have millions of viewers and right now on YouTube. It was insane what happened, and I remember calling my mom, my best friend, and a few people, and it says, this happened. I was laughing out loud, but look, immediately after this, the body sensed there was like hot water coming in. Okay. The body went into a strike zone, and that was not good. Okay. This was not good. I was not able to release the levels of toxicity I should have, or I would have. And even my post flush colonics wasn't the same. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I don't want this to happen to you. So anyway, I learned lessons. I felt there was a few other things that I'm not going to get in details that happened, but it's all about, I'm curious, right? It's all about learning about the body. It's just phenomenal. So in February 2021, I did my second, and I followed the protocol much better, and I felt amazing. I mean, there was, it's kind of perfect here. The process went in and out, and the cleanse inspired me to even try to do a vegan diet. And I want to say semi-vegan diet, because I was still eating small amounts of goat and feta cheese weekly, kind of a couple times a week on the weekends. And I did this healthy vegan for 4 months. And again, we're talking about, little to no sugars, no processed stuff, as a healthy vegan, no gluten, all that kind of stuff. But the most part was really no animal protein, except for this little bites once a week of cheese that I had. But it was mostly centered on animal protein. And I will talk more about that experiment of my vegan another time. Okay. So anyway, my flush number 2 was incredible. I felt amazing and so on. And in June, this past June, 2021, I did the third one. And here's the thing. Like I said, each one of these is a different experience. And I miscalculated the dates. And my menstrual cycle started during the week of the flush. And this was not fun. No. I had discomfort and some level of pain for a few days. The body used loads of energy and resources to fight whatever was going on inside. I was feeling quite weak. So yeah, for the whole week, I actually didn't exercise. I did went for short walks. And still, I was having some pain in my ovaries. Something was going on. And again, it's all experiment. And I was willing to push through. Obviously, I was monitoring my body. But on day 10, a period was over. Everything was over. And I was back at 100% and feeling awesome. I mean, it's just like, the body just needed some time here to react and to fight. And once I was free of that, I was bursting energy. Look, I will say that you may feel more energy and immediate relief of certain symptoms in a few days, and the few days after this cleanse. So it's important for you to not jump right back into unhealthy habits. Your symptoms may return in a week, and it might be totally normal. Just means that you might have to do some more work in there. Might have some release, and that's a great idea. Also, to make adjustments to your diet, potentially, right? To your habits. Is that a sign? Anyway, that's just a thought for you. And of course, I'm on your side, and I'll be glad to be part of your journey and establish these routines and habits for you to get you to a healthier state. And so just reach out, be ready to go. Contact me at bfabbu.com and I'll, we'll have a conversation about it. So, my experiences have been great. I learn every time, and I say great, although discomfort and all this, funny behind burning events and all that. This is all very interesting to me, and it's nothing to be scared when you're done, supervised, like I said. Obviously as a coach, I might have, my background, I might have quite a bit more knowledge than you in that department. But again, it's if you're willing to try this and experiment with this, you might see some amazing results. And by the way, I lost weight in every single one of them, an average of 5 pounds each time. And the weight loss comes fast, actually. And you might lose even more weight. Obviously, you will regain some of the weight back because you're not going to be in this liquid diet, and fasting all the time and all that. But you might be just what you need over here to ignite your body to say, hey, release this stuff. Let's create space for this weight loss because you're releasing all this toxicity. So if you've tried, a liver and gallbladder flush, I would love to hear your experience. And again, if you're interested in learning more about it, reach out to me and I'll be glad to give you more information and put you in touch with my colleague, Isabel. She does this 3 times a year. Normally is September, end of September or beginning of October. And then, so that is preparation for the fall. And then in the winter one, beginning of the new year. February normally, and then in May she does in May again, in preparation for the spring kind of thing. So I hope that this has given you, good information and inspiration to kind of cleanse your body, to potentially consider this as an option for you, especially if you've been stuck and struggling with your weight loss and you have some of the side effects that I mentioned earlier. So I'll look forward to talking to you soon in the next time that we are hanging out together are going to be coming very soon. So anyway, I'll let you go for now, and sending you hugs and kisses, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the BFAB Made Simple podcast. Can you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and leave it a rating. It helps the podcast, and I really appreciate it. If you're wondering where to start, head over to my website, linked in the show notes, to sign up to receive encouragement, tips, and strategies to maximize results. While you're there, download a free health guide to get you started today. If you're looking for a coach and trainer to help you optimize your weight, body, and health, get on my calendar. Let's discuss your goals, establish a custom plan, implement it, and celebrate your results. Together, we can do this. Find the link to schedule a free energy audit strategy session also in the show notes. Connect with me on social media. I would love for you to let me know that you're listening to the show. Also, see the show notes for the links. In addition to a qualified healthcare practitioner, it's important that you have someone in your corner who is in for you and will help you to plan and stay on track implementing your goals. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll this boat. I will see you on the next episode of BFAB Made Simple. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for health care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.